Hello everybody and welcome back to the Traxion channel for another video, and I am making my return to the ADAC GT4 Support Series. But first, I've got a confession to make. Over the weekend, I tried to do some laps of practice for this event so that I wasn't going to be dead last, I was prepared, I was going to be on the pace, and get used to the new force feedback system, everything like that. However, I had a problem with my PC, which meant I didn't manage to do a single lap over the weekend or the bank holiday Monday. The result of all of this means that I completed my first ever clean lap of Lausitzring less than an hour ago. So not ideal preparation to say the least. However, it gives me a great excuse, and what I'm going to do is just adjust the angle of this video slightly. So instead of saying how well can I do in this esports field of professional race room drivers and show how competitive it is, I'm going to say, can I wing it in an esports event? Is it possible to come in with barely any practice, never driving the track before, and wing it? That's what I'm going to find out. For me, it's also a great chance to try out RaceRoom with this new CSL DD from Fanatec, which will be the first time I've tried this as well. So far so good, I've done a few laps now obviously, I've completed 17 laps in total, and things are feeling really good. I'm right at the back, I've got one car behind me, but I'm not far away from the back of the pack, so yeah, I think this wheel's definitely helping in terms of the force feedback. So we've got just over 20 minutes to go of practice then. I am not feeling so good about this one. Actually, to be honest, I'm surprised that I've managed to get quite so near the pace so quickly. I'd not done a single lap of this circuit in my life before about an hour ago. And for the previous two events, at least I've been somewhat prepared. For this one, I was very unprepared for a number of reasons, but I guess we're going to find out whether it's possible to just completely wing it in a professional esports event. Now, I think I'll be able to, you know, maybe take a few positions. I don't think I'll be dead last, especially with people obviously making mistakes in the race and stuff, but my aim is to try and, you know, get in, at least in amongst the racing. As is quite often the case, I've done a 152.2, but I've got so much time in the bag. I've got about 4 or 5 tenths in the delta, I think, with a clean lap. I just need to actually put it all together, and that would probably see me around about 15th, which would be, I'd be absolutely delighted with, to be honest, given the situation for this race. This first corner's so tricky. Try and find the apex without getting track limits. You can cut a lot of this curb on this curb a little bit. I've been watching some of the quicker guys to try and learn something. Since rounds 1 and 2 that I did in this championship, there has been the big RaceRoom force feedback updates. This is the first time racing with the new system, and it's absolutely superb. In everything I've tried so far on the ranked mode has been fantastic, and the GT4 so far today feels really good as well. So yeah, I'm all for the new force feedback update. I think everyone would agree that it's moved RaceRoom to the next level. The reason I'm using the Formula room, by the way, and not the GT room, there's a very good reason. It's because I forgot to change it. Okay, this lap's a bit better. I'm 0.50 up, which would see me probably going to the top 20 again. Yeah, P16, so we're almost in the top 15, guys. It's a big improvement. That was my first lap on quali fuel as well. So, I mean, it doesn't make too much difference on RaceRoom, really, the weight, maybe a tenth or two, but yeah, it's encouraging at least. So 16th is where we're going to end practice. Okay, out of the pits we go. There's no speeding penalties in qualifying, so everyone just races flat out of the pit lane. Unconventional, but there we go. The guys in front of me are actually racing. I just saw a bit of contact as well, which is interesting for qualifying. It's an out lap as well, guys. Car in front of me hit the brakes way too late. I was totally distracted by it. I thought I must have done something wrong, and then I missed the corner as well, so that was not a good start. With only 11 minutes, you barely get a chance to breathe. You need to nail your laps pretty much straight away, so that caught me out last time in Austria. I had a lot more pace than my qualifying suggested. I've abandoned my first run, gone back to the pits to get new tyres and just lower the fuel and get some clear air. The first lap was a 52.9. I did a 51.6 at the end of practice, so even if I just do a 52.0 or something, I think I'll be happy enough, because it's not that easy to set a good lap. Okay, this one's a bit better. We're almost 8 tenths up. Just got to get through the last sector safely now. Oh, I had a short shift there, going to lose a bit of time. Just pushed a tiny bit too hard out to the exit, but I'm still a second up. Hopefully top 20, let's see. 22nd, I need to do more, come on. Much smoother, probably going to gain a couple of tenths. Okay, let's see if this can put me in the top 20. Come on. P18, so we are in the top 20, guys. That is going to be it for qualifying, though. So there we have it then. 6 minutes left of the warm-up. I'm going to be starting this race from 18th. I didn't even expect to be in the top 20, if I'm going to be honest with you. So that wasn't any worse than my previous rounds. It was probably the best qualifying I've had, actually, so far this season, despite being the least prepared. So I guess there's progress there in some way. I'm quite enjoying the circuit. It's good fun, but the race is going to be a totally different thing altogether. It's quite hard to spot your braking points around this place. The references aren't great, so yeah, can I keep it in the top 20 by winging it in the race? Let's find out. So then, we line up on the grid, ready to take the standing start. Now, a little bit rusty, it's been a few months since that second round that I did, and I'm going to be taking it a little bit cautiously. I did have a wee incident in Austria near the beginning, which wasn't, it was kind of a racing incident in all honesty. It wasn't really the other driver's fault. I was probably a little bit over aggressive and paid the price for it, but yeah, this time I don't want to make the same mistake. I'm going to try and keep it clean. I might lose a few places, but at the end of the day, if other people keep making mistakes, I can hopefully get top 20. Here we go then, 5 red lights. Not a great start for me that time. We're going to stick to the outside line for the first corner. Bit of contact up ahead. Keep it nice and clean. Don't know if there's someone on my left. I'm going to take that risk. I think I'm safe. Oh, there is someone on my left, okay. Have to be very careful there. More contact up ahead, so I've lost a couple of places. I'm now down to P20. Just don't really know where the cars are around me. My visibility is not very good. So we can brake nice and late into here. Gonna get shuffled out wide though. Then we hold the inside line here. Bit of contact, but I wouldn't really say that was my fault. Okay. P20, I've been hit again. Car spinning in front of me. Bit of a chaotic start as I've come to expect, but as long as I'm clear I can pull over again. Let's try and settle into a race rhythm now. Car in front of me, the Lotus, I'm pretty sure that was one I battled for most of the race at the Red Bull Ring. Oh, I left the gap open there. That was stupid from me. I forgot which corner I was at in all honesty. Been hit again. Yeah, I didn't expect that corner to open up so much, and I kind of forgot it was the corner that went right again after it. That's just lack of preparation. And suddenly I had the Audi on my bumper, so I had to kind of give them enough space because I'd opened the door. So yeah, back down to 20th, and then the car behind me then hit me and spun. So don't think that was my fault at all though. One of the things that starts happening when you're a little bit underprepared is you take it a little bit easier in the race, and that's why I've had so many incidents. Most of them, I mean almost all of them, I think have been me getting hit from behind, to be fair. But people just can carry that little bit more speed because they've got that bit more confidence, and what it means is you do get a bit of contact from behind. Oh, fend off better that time. Holding on to P20, that's the aim for this race. In all honesty, I feel quite race rusty at the moment. I've not really done too many esports events in the last few months, and I can feel it. I'm just not quite in the zone. I'm struggling to be confident. I don't want to make any contact, but the guys behind me are definitely being aggressive and going for moves, so I just don't have the confidence in where I can place the car. I mean, the wheel's given me huge amounts of feedback, which is really good, but just I don't know the car and track well enough to really have full confidence. So it means that I'm kind of on the back foot. Ooh, Audi made a move behind me. This corner is so difficult to spot your braking point. It's honestly guesswork. Like, I'm using a little bit of a mark on the road, but when you're following people, you can't see that mark. So I'm kind of using other people's braking point to judge my own, which is never a good idea. I would not recommend it to anyone. It's just tricky. And there's two spinners in front, and that's going to be P18. I want to talk a bit about preparation because I think, you know, this series and this race in particular is highlighting a key thing. You know, these esports guys, when you're watching these big events with the pros that put a lot of time into it, they put a lot of time into it. And I know what it's like. I've been, you know, well, currently I race in the SRO and ACC, and I've done lots of high-level R-Factor racing. I used to do quite high-level RaceRoom racing as well. I mean, sim racing's become huge recently, but the amount of effort you really need to put in is phenomenal. You know, hundreds and hundreds of laps. Learn all of your braking points so that every lap you can nail every single point. You do practice on high fuel, you do practice on quali fuel. There is so much to being competitive in a sim race. So if you kind of go into it without that preparation, you're just tying one hand behind your back straight away. And yeah, okay, I can, you know, just about hang on to a top 20, but I'm nowhere near competitive. Knowing where I should normally be against the competition in this kind of event, I'd be looking to try and be breaking into the top 10, maybe not in RaceRoom without the experience, but you know, if I was up to speed a little bit more, that's where I'd be hoping to be at least. And you really do need to put in hundreds of laps to get near that, because every single corner has a different curb, a different way the car handles and behaves. You can adjust your brake bias, traction control, all sorts of things. And when you don't put in that time, you've got no way of knowing. So what I'm trying to say is, when you see how quick, as another person crashes, when you see how quick these guys are, they are like, trust me, they are phenomenally fast. You know, if you try and do these times in the GT4 at Lausitzring, it will take you some time to get down to the lap times these guys are doing. Also, I made a little bit of a mistake there when the car spun. I did the same thing again coming out that left-hander where I thought I was going to be carrying on left, and it was actually the right-hander straight after it. So that's just pure and simply a lack of preparation. But again, it kind of cost me a few tenths, and now I've got that Audi right behind me. He's not going to go for a move into turn 1, is he? He is. Oh, he's pulled it off. I've given him lots of room, to be fair, just to be safe. Didn't want an incident there. But yeah, wow, I did not expect them to go for the move into turn 1. That's not an overtaking place, but you know, credit where credit's due. They had the confidence that I didn't have, and that was it. Now I've got the Lotus all over the back of me. I'm going to have to go a little bit defensive. I should really stop letting people through and actually try and hold on to my positions now. That Lotus is going to hang it on the outside. Again, just going to try the undercut here. Around the outside. I'm obviously not going to go around the outside here, but if I can hang it out long enough, change down, get the drive out of the corner. There we go. I should be able to pull alongside. I mean, we're not really in a battle for points anyway, so I'm just going to try and enjoy this one. Hopefully they don't close the door completely on me. I've got the overlap. But I'm kind of compromised into here. You kind of want to be in a tight line. But again, I'm going to focus on the exit here. Oh, touch the grass a little bit. I've still got a better run though. Probably picked the wrong side. For the first time ever, I've been able to spot my braking point into this corner, but it's not enough. And there we go, I'm down to P19. I'm losing all of my positions in the actual racing here, a bit like the first round. Got two Audis side by side up ahead. This could spell trouble into turn 1. We'll see how they get on though. One of them was the Audi that passed me into turn 1, so let's see. I'm very excited. Looks like they've managed to survive it so far. They're still side by side. It's going to bring us back into the fight here. Not that I'm kind of in a position to do much, to be honest. I don't really have that racecraft in me right now. But it's good fun to watch. Oh, contact! One of them's been forced into the wall. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this, and I'll probably get a few positions out of it. More contact. There's so much contact in this racing. It's like touring cars, it really is. Will I get involved? I mean, I can try, but I'm probably going to lose out in the end. But you know what? Obviously, I've got to get that a go, don't I? What a defeatist attitude I've got at the moment. Sort yourself out. Oh, thought I was going to get a good exit, but I just went too early. And now I've got a slowdown penalty. That's rubbish. And with my slowdown, I've lost a position. I wasn't even looking in my mirror because I was too busy trying to work out how the slowdown actually works. As I say, I was just trying so hard to get a good exit that I ran a little bit too wide, touched the gravel, and the way the track limits work in these races is if you overdo it, that's you. You've got to slow down. Okay, that's going to help me. Okay, I got a nice exit out of the last corner. I'm just a bit scared, really. I'm a bit scared of hitting someone off, which is, you know, I guess it's a good thing to be, but it's not great for when you're trying to move forward. Can I go for a move into turn 1? Am I going to take that risk? Let's go for it. Someone else pulled it off. Got to watch out for track limits. We're still... No, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to give them lots of room just to be safe. I didn't have that bravery, that confidence, that grip that the other car had when they passed me in the same way. And now we've got to watch out for the Audi behind us. It's actually only 4 minutes left. This race has flown by, as it always does, of course. Up the rear again. That's probably about the 5th or 6th time in this race that someone's nudged me from behind. Let's just hope this is the last lap of the race because I've only got fuel for this lap. Cutting it a little bit fine, to be honest. Okay, that's the timer up, so we are in the final lap, which is a relief for me with my fuel numbers. I'm still just struggling to get past the one in front. I feel like if I was on a qualifying run, I feel like I'd just have the pace advantage, but I'm just not consistent enough. And it's showing, so it looks like it's going to be 18th. The car behind me spun off in the last lap, so that one's safe. Get the good exit, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be 18th though. I'll take that. I didn't deserve any more than that. And I think it just proves everything I've been saying about that lack of preparation. And, you know, these guys at the front are running a second a lap quicker than me, which is just phenomenal. And they would still be quicker than me anyway, but not by as much as they are. because they've put in the work and they've tried really hard to actually be competitive. But you know what? I'm happy enough with 18th given the circumstances, and I enjoyed the race, which of course is one of the main things. Sheehan takes the win once again. He's been absolutely fantastic this season. Yeah, just fair play. Doing 150s in qualifying, 51s consistently in the race. It's just very, very impressive. So I went into this video with two main questions. Number one, can I wing it in a professional esports event? And number two, how does the CSL DD perform with RaceRoom? Now, to answer the first question, you can wing it, but you're not going to get a good result. Like, there was no way I was able to race past. If the race had been longer, I probably would have been passed by more of the cars around me and I would have lost more positions. Even though I had the 1 lap pace, I hadn't developed my consistency, I hadn't learned my racecraft on the circuit, I hadn't tried against AI, for example, to learn how the car reacts on different racing lines and stuff like that. So you can wing it, but you're not going to win the races or even get in the top 10 by winging it. You have to put in the hard yards like a lot of these drivers have been doing. And I'll hopefully be able to do that for the next few rounds. Second question, CSL DD, was it good on RaceRoom? Yes, absolutely fantastic. I think it probably helped me get the result I did. There was so much feeling over the curbs. Force feedback was really good. So yeah, top marks from me for RaceRoom and the CSL DD. I'm sure you guys will all be jumping at the bit to get a go on one of these. So now that I've made you all jealous, I am going to leave you, but a massive thank you as always for tuning in, and make sure, of course, you subscribe to the Traxion channel for more racing game content. You can watch the live broadcast of these races from a TV perspective before watching my rubbish from the back of the grid. You can also, of course, watch the GT3s. There's so much stuff on the Traxion channel, so yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for watching as always, and until I see you next time, keep it pinned and have a great night.